Hello, everyone. My guest today is Jeremy Greenberg. He's the founder and CEO of SellerCloud. His vision has guided SellerCloud to the forefront of the competitive e-commerce management playing field. Jeremy, are you ready to take us to the top?
Sure.
All right. Tell us about the company. What do you guys do and how do you make money?
So we help e-commerce companies manage their orders, their inventory, pretty much all their business processes across everything from how they manage their suppliers to actually shipping out products to the customer. And that includes also listing products and various things like integrating with Amazon, eBay, their own website to really be the operating system of that business. So we make money basically charging per order. We basically have a transactional fee. So we starts at 25 cents an order, but basically every month we tally up how many orders went through our system, and that's how we bill for all of our services. We do have some, secondary, upgrade, options and things like that, but primarily about 90% of our revenue is from per transactional type charges.
Jeremy, is this predictable revenue? I mean, would you consider it SaaS revenue or no? It's too seasonal and choppy to be predictable.
No, it's very predictable. There is a seasonal aspect to it. Obviously in December, there are more orders going through our system than in, March or something like that. But there's a predictable pattern. We have a trend that we could see, December is usually a certain percentage higher than November, and then January is a certain percentage higher than that, because we bill after the fact. So basically, in January, we're billing for December, which is usually the biggest month, and then there's a typical percentage that it dips. And basically, because we're a growing business, every year the baseline goes up. But basically, there's a similar pattern that goes from one year to the next.
So over the past 12 months, Jeremy, how has that baseline increased? What's been your growth rate year over year?
Growth rate last year, the growth rate's been around 40% each year.
Okay.
So consecutively. So
and that's in terms of actual revenue, correct?
Yeah, actual revenue. Some of that is really from new clients. Some of it's because our existing clients are actually growing.
Yep. And what are those clients? I mean, I know you have many different kinds of clients, but give me an average. On average, what's a customer pay you per month or per year?
Probably around $1,000 a month. The lowest tier is $500 a month. We have like a minimum of 500, but some clients are paying us several thousands, depending on how big they are.
Okay. And put this on a timeline for me. When did you launch?
2010.
2010. Okay, very good. And have you bootstrapped the company or have you decided to raise?
No, it's all bootstrapped.
I love that.
We earned our first profit in 2012, broke even in 2012 and started to make a profit, and then gradually grew the business from that point till now, gradually adding employees and
so you're cash flow positive today?
Correct.
And how many folks are on the team?
There are 35 in my office here in New Jersey, and then about 2 years ago, I added an office in Europe. So we have around an equal amount in the European office.
Okay, so 70 folks total, all full time.
Correct.
That's great. So New Jersey and Europe, very good. And what have you scaled to over the past 8 years in terms of total customers on the platform? So
we have over 600 clients. Some of those clients vary in size, like I said. Some of them have over 100 employees, using their account. And some of them are small, like just a few people in the company. But we have over, I think, something like 610 or something like that was our last count. Okay. Jeremy, can I multiply that? So can I take 610 times that $1,000 a month average you just gave me? I mean, are you guys doing somewhere around 600 grand a month right now? Yeah, probably a little bit more, but yeah, somewhere in that range. Okay. And with 40%, last year we did around. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so last year in 2017 we did around $5.1 million in revenue. So, it's gradually increased between then and now, and we're hoping to continue to grow at that rate. It's sort of hard to. We're trying our best to maintain the rate, the growth rate. Well, Jeremy, just to be clear, I mean, if you did 5.1 million last year and you're already doing north of 600 grand a month today, that's a $7.2 million run rate, up from a $5.1 million run rate just a year ago. So you already have healthy growth, even if the year ended today. Correct.
Yeah, that's great. Churn is critical in any kind of SaaS business, especially in kind of marketing and sales tech space. What's your churn today and how do you measure that?
So we have all kinds of reporting. So we do, we can report on logo churn and revenue churn, and we do that on a monthly basis. So basically, if you have we still use QuickBooks to manage our finances, but what we've done is we have our own internal system that we can reference, by the client ID that we have, and we run a bunch of reports, and we can basically run a 12-month churn and a 18-month churn, both on revenue and logo churn.
So Jeremy, what is the revenue churn per year today?
So I think it's around 88%.
That's retention, not churn.
Oh, sorry, that's the logo churn. The revenue churn is somewhere around 90%.
Just to be clear, Jeremy, you're not talking about churn. You're talking about retention.
Yeah. So revenue churn.
If you have 90% revenue churn, what that would mean is if you're doing 5 million last year, that would go down to like $1 million.
Sorry. Yeah. So we have net negative churn. Yeah. So we're not only retaining our clients, but we're adding clients every month. So.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to figure out, gross revenue churn per year is what? 12%? Because you said you retained 88. So if you retained 88, that means you churned 12.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That was the logo churn I was referring to.
What's revenue?
So the revenue, I honestly don't have the number offhand.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So 12% logo churn per year, and you have net negative revenue churn each year.
Correct.
What do you drive? The only way to have net negative revenue churn is to obviously be driving expansion revenue. What kinds of additional things are you selling into your customer base that drives the upsells?
So we've been expanding on our product line. So it used to be that we just had the SellerCloud service that people would pay per transaction. Now we have some add-on services, both in professional services that we're charging for, like white glove type services where we're going down to people's offices or working on projects with them, customizing things for them. And then we also have some additional products, like we introduced a product called SKU Stack, which is a warehouse management solution, which sort of is in tune with the type of customer that we have, but going deeper into the operations, deeper into the warehouse. Originally we just sort of managed inventory on a simple level, what's in the warehouse. Now we actually, with SKU Stack, you can actually track where stuff is in the warehouse, scan everything to, in and out of bins in the warehouse, and track serial numbers and, all kinds of more advanced type stuff. So we actually charge extra for that per month. So
interesting. And when you're signing up one of these $1,000 a month accounts, what are you willing to spend to acquire that customer fully weighted?
To be honest, we really don't know what our cost of acquisition is, because until the last few months, it's been pretty much organically grown. But, we do spend, it's very hard to actually crunch those numbers.
How are you getting, instead of focusing on the number, then let's focus on how you're getting new customers. So how are you signing up new customers?
So there's a lot of referrals, from existing clients. And then we do go to some trade shows, but
what would you pay for a trade show? What was the last one you went to?
So we would go to, let's say, eBay Open, we were a silver sponsor or something like that. And, might spend $15,000, $20,000, attending a trade show like that, or the Internet Retailer event. So those are, depending on travel and setting up the booth, it could cost $20,000, $25,000 to get involved in one of those conferences. But, we maybe meet 100, potential clients, and sometimes the sales cycle is kind of long because they don't necessarily want to transition to another platform in the middle of the year. They want to, plan it and negotiate and whatever it may be. But that's been the primary way we've gotten to know new people. But initially it was all through organic recommendations and referrals.
Jeremy, break your team down today. What percent are like sales, marketing versus engineering?
So we only have 4 people in sales.
Okay. What about marketing?
Marketing, we have 1 person.
And what about kind of like content, things like that, SEO, SEM?
Just 1 person.
Okay, so 5 people kind of total on that side?
Correct.
And then the rest are all engineers?
No, they're around 20 people who are involved in support, onboarding.
Okay, that's like customer success.
Customer success.
Yeah.
So aside from them, the rest are all either developers or project managers and things like that. So it's mostly we're pretty much heavy weighted on the technology side.
Yep.
Development wise.
That's great. Now you've bootstrapped the company. Would you ever raise capital? Are you in talks today to raise any capital or no?
I'm not in talks right now. It's at the right time. Maybe it would make sense. One of the challenges a company my size is that, it's you don't want to really give up equity at this stage unless you really need it. It's sort of, it's really hard to know what it'll be, but I think I probably want the company to grow a little bit more mature so that it's a little bit more easy to get like a minority investor or something like that, without giving up too much equity percentage-wise. But we sort of got through a lot of the hard stages already.
Yeah, no, you're building a great company. I love it. It's great that you're doing it bootstrapped. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
I haven't really read too many business books, to be honest.
And the last book you read?
I read a book about emotional intelligence by
Cialdini.
Sounds familiar.
Robert. It's okay.
I don't have a good answer for that one.
It's fine. Emotional intelligence. Number 2, is there an under the radar CEO that you follow or study?
Not really. I'm pretty much, I don't really follow any type of model. It's pretty much just, there's no CEO in New Jersey when you're having a bad day or you want to brainstorm, you go out to lunch with. No.
Okay. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
Online tool. I think LinkedIn is a very powerful tool that, from a business standpoint, networking and, it seems to be probably the most powerful free tool out there as far as business growth, especially when you're dealing with organic growth.
Great. I must say. Number 4, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
You get about 5 hours of sleep.
Jeremy, that's not healthy. Why aren't you sleeping more?
I'm not working hard enough, right?
I would not say just because you sleep less means you're working harder. I do not think those things are correlated at all. But why don't you sleep more though? Seriously, what do you have? Little small kids at home or?
Yeah, I got some small kids at home, but it's challenging balancing all of the responsibilities at home and at work. But first off, are you married? I'm married.
Okay, yeah. Married. And how many kiddos?
I've got 8 kids.
Oh my God, Jeremy. Okay, that's the reason. You just say, Nathan, leave me alone. I have 8 kids. That's why I only sleep 5 hours. All right. And how old are you, Jeremy?
I'm 40.
40. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew earlier that people really needed software like this. I could have had a head start, I guess.
Guys, earlier start on software. There you have it from SellerCloud, launched a couple of years ago, call it 2010. Now 70 people between New Jersey and Europe. Again, 600 customers paying an average of $1,000 per month. So north of 600 grand per month in revenue. That's up about 40% year over year. They finished 2017 with about 5.1 million bucks in revenue. In terms of economics, 12% logo churn per year. And they've got net negative revenue churn annually, which is great. Too early to measure CAC and LTV, things like that, as most of their 70-person organizations actually focus on engineering and customer success versus sales, marketing, or any inbound strategy. So Jeremy, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy.